earlier, okay, when she was hiking one day, and the other has been experiencing things as she is driving along the road near Lake Michigan on her way to and fro. And now her husband has started experiencing it. It starts as like just seeing something peripherally, and then because she won't look at it, and then she did see what looked like a man running on all fours by her car, I guess. But those are two separate experiences that are fairly close to each other, and they're things I don't want to run into. I try not to hunt something that's going to eat me. But what is y'all's experience up there with these kind of things?
Well, Wisconsin is certainly known for Dogman.
Mm-hmm. Beast of Bray Road.
Yes. You always hear Dogman, werewolves, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And there is a lot of reports in the Midwest. Now, we cover the top third of the state. Most of the Dogman reports are in the bottom third of the state. But still, I believe, and because of experiences like what you just mentioned and stuff, that not only are they up here, but I think the whole Dogman / werewolf / skinwalker phenomenon, people could probably experience almost anywhere. There are reports all over the world. They have different names for Dogman. And
What
then,
are
of
some
course,
of them?
Well, let's see. I just drew a blank. You can't.
I put you on the spot, didn't I? I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. You're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. But anyways, yeah. So they have different names, and they're easy to look up. By the way, I've looked them up before. I just can't spit them out at the moment. But yeah, they do. There are reports, Now, so there's first of all the first question is, are they cryptid or are they supernatural? The cryptozoology versus the paracryptozoology. There's different kinds of dogmen, and if you talk to different dogmen experts, they have them in different categories. Some people believe that dogmen are all the time dogmen. In other words, there's no shape-shifting going on. They don't go from human to dog back to human like a werewolf would. Anytime you hear about shape-shifting, there's usually a cult involved.
Right.
Whether it's the werewolf or the reptilian, there's always a cult involved. I believe that I do believe shape-shifting is possible.
Is that not primarily Native American, though?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's like the Wendigo.
Yeah, but they did that. Right. I mean, that was also found in Europe, too. I mean, way back. I mean, that's not just native. That's just not... Yeah, they did it, and we hear about skinwalkers and stuff like that. And it's the same thing. It's just their theology is a little bit different, but it's still praying to deities and doing certain rituals and things so you can possess that power for periods of time. And so, yeah, werewolves have been dogmen, right? Go back all the way to like Anubis, and there are other gods as well that are part dog, part man, and so it goes back. Okay, and as far as the modern day, some of the experiences people have seem more cryptid. Like, I seen a dog man who was eating roadkill on the side of the road. It was the middle of the night. It saw me, I saw it, and it took off, whatever. Other ones are like, I was walking, and all of a sudden I seen a dog with red eyes, and then it just disappeared. you get like these ethereal dogmen, especially around the burial mounds. Graveyards. In other words, the hellhound, the demon dog, that kind of
Right.
thing.
Or like a Grim.
Yeah, they have. There's so many variations. I think, like with the burial mound, they say, well, the one theory is that they're protecting the burial spot, whether it's a graveyard and the demon dog or the dogmen of the burial mounds, that they're protecting the mounds from anyone that would intrude it or harm it. There's mounds aren't the easiest to investigate because
Well, no, they're not, because A, you don't want to irritate anything that's out there,
well,
and
sure,
B,
and they
you
don't want you
can't
there.
generally get access, approved access, and I don't do anything without approval because I don't really think I would look good in orange. But what about these experiences that I had mentioned with my friends up in I'm assuming the northern part of Wisconsin? With seeing them peripherally and even to the point of one staying with her car as she's driving down the road, kind of a thing. Is that something that's a normal sighting?
I would say any paranormal sighting is not a normal sighting. As far as dogman reports, like I said, there's so many variations that they look different. Some of them walk different than others walk. Some of the legs are different. Some of them look more like baboons. Some of them they look more like a lion man. Oh, it looks like it's a, jackal looking or
some of them look like timber wolves.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think that there is probably a species of wolf that runs on all four that can stand up on two legs.
Well,
I also think that the supernatural thing is going on too.
right.
That sometimes people see dogmen in their bedroom. They'll wake up in the middle of the night and bam, there's a dogman there.
Well,
That's
will
obviously not a
make you
cryptid, right?
flip.
I mean, it would have had to physically break in the house, and there's no forced entry. It was there 1 minute, next minute it was gone. What was that? So that kind of stuff. Again, like some of these reports, they could be multiple things. Or it looks like a dogman, but what if it's something demonic? Like I said, there were demigods that were half dog, half men. Demigods, right? So if they exist in the afterlife at some point, maybe they have minions as well that work for them, and people, they do something or they find something or they invite something, or it could be something as simple as shaking your fist to God and denouncing him, to, hey, I was at this, I was out on the property and I found this funny looking art. I don't know what this is. It looks kind of cool, and I put it on my mantle, and now all of a sudden weird stuff's happening in the house. Proof of dogman is almost, there's no proof really. I mean, there's big tracks. You find like wolf tracks that are I remember when we first started the society, we had a guy report, take pictures and stuff of a big track he found by a stream in Harshaw, and it was incredibly big, like I would not dinner plate size, but pretty close. I mean, it was like, are you kidding me? They get this big? Oh my, wow. Someone reports a dogman, we take it as seriously as any other report.
Right.
Most people that have dogman encounters will report them to like Linda Godfrey or Vic Cundiff, or people that specialize specifically in dogmen. But every so often we get a report or a call. We had a call from Eau Claire, and this was a couple different people had spotted what they described as a dog standing on two legs with red eyes outside their residence. 2 different times, 2 different people. I know a local Appleton team ended up going out there investigating it. What turned out was that next door to this house are, guess what? Burial mounds. The house is
Really?
having activity. People coming over to the house see this dog creature, and you find out the land literally adjacent to it is burial mound. You know, for me, that's just like, I would say, well, the dog, because there's such an association between the mounds and the dogmen, that is, you know, for all practical purposes, the tie there. Whether or not you have paranormal activity spilling into your house from the mounds and from all that, you know, we didn't investigate it personally. Another team ended up going out there and doing it. It was out of our we covered the top third of Wisconsin, you know, so this was in the, well, Eau Claire's, I don't know if you call it the bottom third, but it's down the state quite a bit. So, but yeah, you know, there you go. You know, reports do happen. You know, Wisconsin seems to get a couple of reports every year.
Well, she just joined the show and she said it was fast as hell. So it was keep him right up. And,
that's amazing.
Well, it is. I mean, because obviously.
When she said her husband experienced them too, is that also in the car driving? I mean, is it following them back home or? Well,
I believe that she had been seeing it first. It was in Manitowoc, or
right.
I hope that's how you say that. But I know that you're listening. Were y'all together in a vehicle when he saw it? When you saw it too? And this is going to have to be our last question because we're almost out of time on the broadcast clock and the dogs. But I wanted to make sure that that I had a chance to ask her this because, you know, here I am. No, they were both separate. They were both separate experiences. So okay. I just am stunned but it was the same geographic area.
Yeah, Wisconsin is and for that, yeah, there could be definitely something. If they're like, you know, close to each other, then there could be a connection. I mean, who's to say there's not? You know.
Well, I just was fascinated, and I know that, you know, what I've talked to other people on this topic, and everybody who researches this seems to share the same opinion, which is just don't mess with them. You know.
As far as the whole cryptids things go, it really does seem like Bigfoot are more benign.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And the dogmen are more aggressive.
Almost to the predator point.
If it's the cryptid kind, I would stay away because they're part animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part wolf, right? Certainly more dangerous, taller, bigger than you, faster than you. And if it's a spiritual one, or a supernatural one, we'll say, again, to me that could not only, I guess the location would be relevant to the sighting, but like I said, sometimes they see dogmen in the weirdest places with the spiritual ones.
Right.
Now, the Beast of Bray Road was supposed to be, according to, you know, like I said, with the roadkill and all that, people question, like, well, if some dogmen are these spiritual beings like Bigfoot that come in and out of dimensions or whatever's going on, some kind of interdimensional being, why would they eat? Well, you know, maybe we don't know what brings them here if they are coming from a different dimension. But while they're physical, I would assume they would have the physical cravings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was spiritual but I could morph into a human, while I was human, I'd get hungry because I'm human, right? So maybe that's going on. Who knows? You know, it's interesting. It's fascinating. What I find compelling about it is that there are plenty of reports, and that the history from it goes way back.
Well, she just said that she looked at the mounds on the maps, and they're right there where she sees this.
Okay, that could be
Yeah.